Welcome to NWA and Beyond, your real estate podcast. This is Carter Clark.
My name is Russell King.
And we're going to go through today Bentonville as we're going through the market update up and down the corridor. So let's start with Bentonville, Russell, which I think a lot of people would consider the crown jewel of Northwest Arkansas.
Yeah, some call it the mountain biking capital of the Ozarks.
That's right. Home of the Fortune 1 Walmart.
Yes, Bentonville continues to, their market continues to show resilience while there are some, stabilizations compared to some other towns, but it's a continued growth in new construction and prices and growth and all that. So, there's a lot to Bentonville.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that have really driven what's happening up there, right? You got the Walmart home office, that expansion, the 350-acre new home campus, which is absolutely amazing. And then it goes into the culture, the art stuff that's going on in Bentonville.
Oh, man, the world's first Bikeable office building, the Ledger.
It was new and unique last year. Alice Walton's doing her School of Medicine, which is just started her first class, I believe.
Yeah.
And it's really unbelievable, the things it's doing with it. But, I mean, all the mountain bikes have drawn in so many people here. Yes. And then that, along with Crystal Bridges, the Momentary, all the arts that have been here now for a while. And she's doubling the size of Crystal Bridges, which is just unbelievable to think about.
Yeah, some other things like we could talk about downtown a little bit, the evolution and kind of the why. The downtown regions for sure is shifting with from the quaint square to really a sophisticated kind of urban core. The Heart on Main, the new massive, kind of a mixed use development on the square. The bike-in cultures, we kind of mentioned that, but that's a huge ability for a lot of people to say, I'm gonna leave my car or my truck at home, ride my bike to and from work,
everywhere,
to a food truck to eat lunch. It's just makes a little more lively community for sure.
And the food in downtown now is so unbelievable.
Man, we live South Fayetteville, but we go up there all the time to eat.
Oh, it's so great. There's a couple more James Beard nominated chefs up there. You got Matthew Cooper at Conifer, and then at Yeo's.
Oh, yeah, Yeo's.
There's really cool stuff going on up there. Farmers market on the square every Saturday in Bentonville. I remember when I started, you could have bought the whole Bentonville square for $2 million.
I mean, come on.
And now, you couldn't buy 10 square feet for $2 million. It's nuts.
You're not far off.
I mean, it is just crazy. But it's really cool because it is really a culture in Bentonville that's not just for mountain bikers, not just for artsy, not just for, the Walmart home office. But it's really a great town for everybody, from the young professionals, the singles, to the families. It's just a really great vibe in Bentonville.
Yeah, I don't know if any other cities are looking for what do we need. I mean, I think Bentonville kind of has it all.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's a really fun place from whether you're a socialite and want to be in downtown or an active family in a neighborhood. So let's dig in a little bit to kind of what's happening with the numbers in Bentonville, Russell. So what are we looking at as far as number of homes on the market right now in Bentonville, not Russellville.
Yeah. I'm going to do this kind of a two-prong. I want to kind of look at Benton County and just see the difference of, all right, so in Benton County specifically, list price is $484,294. In Bentonville City, right, $601,246. That's your average list price over the last 12 months.
And there's 491 listings active in Bentonville right now.
That's right. So, and a 3-month supply, or I'm sorry, 3.9 month, call it 4-month supply of inventory. So 125 sales a month. And, I might mention that the list to sales price ratio is 98%. So the average sales price, the Bentonville specific average sales price, $591,536.
$261 a square foot is what a house will go for in Bentonville.
Yep, and compared to really this time last year, we're up about 4.25% almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the average sales price in Bentonville is up 4%. A lot of that is due to what all is just happening there between the medical school, between the arts, between the bikeability. Like, there's so much stuff. The new campus, there's just so much stuff that's drawing people to Bentonville.
And they're major things that draw people. You know, I think. Well, I don't like the medical industry. Okay, do you like the food industry?
Right.
You know, do you like access to your job? You know, whatever it is, it's a big deal to whoever it's a big deal to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are coming in here, and it's just a great place. There's way more people now that come just to visit Bentonville than I would have ever dreamed of 20 years ago, between the bikes and the arts and food.
Yeah, not to mention, you know, the Hollywood stuff. You know, the
Bentonville Film Festival.
Yeah. So Hollywood's coming here, man.
Yeah,
that
it's
says
wild.
something.
It's wild. So then there's new construction that's really an engine for what's happened in Bentonville over the last few years. So you got some things like what are happening out in Osage Hills. That's a Britnum community. It's 350 up to basically 450. You got Aurora that's got a number of different builders in there in the 650 range. You got Riverwalk that's 550 plus. You got Scissortail that's 800,000 plus. There's also some Schubert Mitchell neighborhoods.
Yeah, like Hope Hill.
Yep, and some D.R. Horton stuff like Magnolia Crossing. Buffington's got some subdivisions out there on Morningstar. So there's lots of new construction still driving out there. And this doesn't even include what's happening in Centerton. So you go just a little west of Bentonville, and there's tons of new construction that's occurred over the last 10 years. And this is just what's happening in Bentonville proper.
Yeah, we're not even going to talk about Bella Vista today.
Right.
I mean,
the new construction that's happening in Bella Vista is just awesome.
Yeah.
All the stuff that's happening up there. And we'll get into that next. But a lot of the stuff that's happening in Bentonville is higher-end luxury, some infill stuff. It's a little bit step above what you might pick up in some other towns, but you're also paying for it.
That's right.
You're paying for what what you're getting.
Yeah.
There's also some great resale stuff from in more affordable price points. So like you got like Brookberry Woods and Wildwood that are from the 350 to 450 range. There's just not a whole lot in those 350 to 450 price range, and then you still got a lot of middle price points. Like Woods Creek, Copper Creek, all that stuff that's 450 to 750. And then when you're getting downtown, the closer you are to that center of downtown, the higher you're paying prices, really.
Man, that's a good point. And I kind of want to talk about like why people move here. I think even people from here may not even realize why it's so special. You know, the reason a lot of people move here is kind of what we call the vendor ghetto. You know, the job stability of the just the density of Fortune 500 companies. It creates really a big safety net. If you get let go or can't work at one place, you've got another one just right down the road.
Yep.
Not to mention we've kind of talked about this, but the outdoor integration of just being able to do everything you want to outside within 5 or 10 minutes.
Yep.
And then really compared to like say an Austin or a Denver, operating costs here are still pretty cheap.
Yeah.
We're
getting closer. Like it's as we're growing, the cost of living slowly growing and getting closer to it, but we're still relatively cheap compared to when you're looking at the big market, big boys.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, as all this stuff's coming together, I don't see anything slowing down with what's happening with Walmart home office and just all the different things that are drawing people in, the expansion of the medical school, the expansion of Crystal Bridges. I think that there's just going to be a continued driving force of what's happening in Bentonville over the next 10 to 15, 20 years.
Man, I agree. And I even think those things, whether people realize it or not, affect the other cities around them. So you say, well, it's just Bentonville. No, it's not. It continues to keep that vibe and the influence and the residential investments and cost, so to speak, stable.
Yeah, it's continuing to push.
It is continuing. Yeah, for sure. So it's a little bit of a what's the last 5 years look like? That's a good indicator of what the next is.
Oh, yeah.
And we've got the pulse on new construction and all kinds of new stuff happening, not just in real estate, but those all kind of play into each other.
Absolutely.
There's no reason for
I
anything
think somebody told me a few years ago that Bentonville had the second most cranes in the United States behind Nashville.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I don't know if that was true, but I like that story. I'm going to continue to tell it. Like it was. Hey,
don't let facts mess up.
Yeah, we're not going to let that mess up. But it was something crazy like that because at the time the med school was going on, the addition of Crystal Bridges, you had the Ledger Building, you have all that stuff that's going on downtown, and there was just cranes everywhere. I'm like, where do we live?
Yeah.
I mean, this wasn't how it's been, you know?
No.
And there's just all kinds of new stuff that's going to continue to pop up, and it's going to be fun to see over the next 5 years what happens in all of Northwest Arkansas, but Bentonville specifically, just with the Walmart effect
That's good.
of what they have going on and
Hey,
how much they influence the town.
I mean, if you look around Northwest Arkansas, I'd say we were probably about 20 years ago. I bet we were the shovel capital of the world, digging more dirt than anybody at that
Just
time.
how much it's moved.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, this is another fun episode, Russell, on NWA and Beyond. Please like, follow, and share wherever you listen to podcasts, and tell your friends all about us.